All right, family and friends, we're day 5 in the 21-day Daniel fast. It's Friday. It's January 20th, and we're here to talk to you one more time with John and Sungshim, some of my favorite people, authors of this book, Joyful Journey. And we're trying to equip you to live in the manifest presence of God, practice and cultivate a sense of his presence. And so today we're going to focus on this section in your book called Reconnecting. And the implication is that there's a lot of times when my 6 big emotions get triggered, and those big emotions, sad, anger, despair, shame, anxiety, or fear, or disgust, those big emotions, and I don't sense the presence of the Lord. My relational circuits aren't on. I'm sensing disconnection. Now, I know theologically, God will never leave me or forsake me. I know theologically, he's Emmanuel. He's always with me. I'm not connecting. How did I get disconnected, and how do I reconnect?
And the first thought that came to me was recognize the potential for shame in feeling disconnected from God.
Okay.
But there is no shame in being disconnected from God. It's just like it's a human experience that we have. Now, if we sin, then we can experience shame. That's fine. But that's a potential, all those big 6 emotions, all those, whatever thing that disconnects us, we feel angry or upset, or those are opportunities to connect with God in deep parts of our heart. So even viewing it as an opportunity to connect with God about parts of our heart that maybe we haven't connected with many people, or very few or none, this is a huge opportunity to actually connect with God in a profound, healing, transformative way. So even viewing it a certain way is kind of something I want to offer and encourage and inspire people to, there's hope in this miry pit.
Well, I want to add the part. There's a phrase that I really like, since we are in this field of psychology or doing therapy, like name it to tame it. Unless you name that, you cannot tame them. So I like what you said a lot. It's that it's a God's invitation. When we are disconnected, it's not that we are punished or we are punishing ourselves. It is that God is inviting us in times of anger or fear or despair. Child, I want to connect with you while we are experiencing these things together. Instead of only connecting with him in the gratitude moment, like what we've been talking about a lot, but then during those big 6 emotions, God is inviting us, and then he's naming it. Child, you seems like you are angry, and then I need to just name that too. Yeah, God, I'm angry. I feel hopeless, just like the song. And then I'm really afraid. It's just name it, so then he can tame that reality of our experience. So I think when you are talking about whenever we get disconnected, what do we do? Like number one, like John said, let's view that. Let's name that as an invitation from God instead of seeing it as a negative or punishment. And the second, once he's naming it, seems like you are very distraught. Instead of saying, no, God, that's not true. Like, why don't we name it together? And then just honestly accept it, naming it, and then have God to really meet us in that place. Instead of like trying to shape it or like clean it, and then I want to really show up clean. How could we really show up as we are in those 6 emotions?
Beautiful. So in the middle of anger, we move toward the Lord.
Yes.
Because he's indwelling us. The indwelling Christ is in us. The Spirit is around us. God loves us. He delights in us, even in our weakness, as you said. So when we're troubled, and these warning emotions are firing, rather than avoid them, we name them. I love that. Name them. We move toward God, and we connect relationally, and then we can't tame them until we name them.
Yes.
And so that's the methodology you're recommending for reconnecting, a sense of reconnecting, even though we know he didn't leave us, but we just don't sense him there. So we're trying to recover a sense of relational connection. And we move toward him in the middle of that that feeling of negativity.
So I would say there's 3 elements of connection that I want people to be even aware. Number one, when we get angry or afraid, physiologically you will feel it. You get red, and then you get muscles tension. Then nobody likes it. Even a little child, they don't want to feel that. So then that's where the addiction happened. So then just again name that. Oh, I noticed that my shoulders goes up, my muscles got tense up. So being connected to your body. And then even naming that your emotions can be one of them ways. So remain connected to your body, own body. And then even ask your partner or somebody that ask for help. I'm in this place. I am angry. I lost my relational connection. So I need help. So stay connected to the other person. It's not only with God. Just really utilize that. Like, or reach out to your friend, and I'm in an upsetting situation. Can you pray for me? Can you help me? So remain connected to the people who love you, and then connection with God. So there's a 3 elements, like connected to your body, connected to person, connected to God, and then we can even add on other elements that there's in our field. There's even orienting yourself, connected to your environment. Okay, like there's this ceiling, how many colors I can name. So then that's another aspect. But I think simply speaking, those 3 things, connected to your body, the person next to you, or the people in your community, and then God.
Yeah.
That's excellent, because the temptation is when these 6 big emotions, we're so overwhelmed by them that the last thing we want to do is relationally connect. I mean, that's not our default. But maturity is really learning, how to return relationally to a relational connection, which then triggers joy again.
Yes.
So, that oxytocin is a reward, that feel-good hormone is a reward for reopening my relational circuits and reconnecting, even in the midst of, the storms of life. And so that's an art form, isn't it? That's a discipline we practice and we learn. And maturity is knowing how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
With each other and with the Lord. Well, you all, listen, I could do this for a long time. It's been incredible. What an honor to be able to ask you questions. And I hope we can do this again sometime in the not too distant future. I want to thank you for making yourselves available to the whole body of Christ as coaches, as resources, as speakers, as counselors. You guys are amazing. And so, thank you from the bottom of our heart for joining us and taking your time to be with us. We love you guys so much.
We love you.
Do you have any last little word to this group that's going on this fast and prayer adventure? Do you have any one last little blessing that you want to throw out there to us?
Yes, this is something in my mind and I didn't know where to put it. And so I'll put it here.
Okay.
Jim Wilder is the first person I heard say this. And he said, he was summarizing what Alan Shore said, the brain scientist that he got a lot of this from. Says the best predictor of mental health is the ability to down-regulate our emotions and to increase joy, to connect joyfully with others. And so that made me, and I asked actually Alan Shore, he came to Fuller and spoke, and I asked him, he said, yes, both are true. And that's kind of what we just talked about throughout all sessions is, so the down-regulate is to name it, to tame it, and then to build joy around even those difficult emotions. So if we can do that, we're not just growing in our relationship with God, with one another, but it's actually resonating with what brain science says. So, and that makes sense. If God is the creator of all that is good and true, then science would be able to discover that over time.
Right.
So let's have humble hearts and do things that maybe we're not comfortable with at first. And I see Sungshim is amazing when she gets stuck. She'll reach out to me or her friends. She'll me text or call. And so I actually see her do it. And so I'm doing it little more by little more. And so us guys, let's journal. Even though it's a little uncomfortable, we will become better at loving God, loving others, and be more mentally healthy. Then we'll just be better human beings.
Beautiful. So I love it. I love it a lot. There's a lot of healing that goes on when we do these spiritual disciplines.
Yes.
A lot of inner healing, a lot of manual healing. That's a whole other topic we didn't even open up.
Yeah.
Right.
But just communing with the Lord, He'll take us back to times in our life when we didn't sense His presence, and then He manifests. He comes to us in those times and completes the story.
Amen.
But anyway, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We got to do this again. We love you guys and bless you.
Yes,
okay, bye.